Hey guys, it's Dustin with Cruising Customs. Today we're going to talk about testing a few different parts. Today I'm going to show you how to test spark plug cables, and I'm also going to show you how to test a coil. Both these parts are off a 1990 Mazda Miata. Many of us have parts laying around. It's good to be able to test them, figure out if they're good, they're bad, junk, or if they're usable. So today I'm going to show you how to test them. Today I have a DVOM, digital volt ohm meter by PDI. I also have in front of me a Fluke meter. The difference mainly is this meter is able to test a lot more things. As seen, you can test things like amperage, temperatures. This is used very often in the automotive world. This Fluke meter is often used in housing, just volts and ohms. Alright. First thing you need to know, cable runs all the way through it. In a Miata, spark plug's down inside, so when you take a look down inside of there, you will see the connection that touches the top of the spark plug. Other end, obviously very simple to get to. What you're going to be testing for is ohms. Ohms pretty much shows you the amount of resistance inside of something. You will either get an OL if you have nothing, or if you do have something, then you will show a reading. It needs to be a very, very low reading on a device like this. So if you see here with the Fluke meter, I have an OL, meaning overload. We're going to take our leads. Obviously black goes negative, red goes to positive, but often when you're using a meter, it does not matter because you're going to send current through either direction. You might get a negative reading if you're backwards for volts, but it is your reading. So we're going to reach far down inside of there and make sure we have a positive connection. Easiest way to do this is push it down, pull it to the side a little bit. Other end we are going to touch. So I have a reading of 5.43. It's obviously changing a little bit. But you have an ohm reading, which means that you have a full connection through your spark plug. As long as you do not have an OL, your plug is good. If you have a very high ohm reading, then your part is bad and it will cause resistance, cause extra heat, and it is not usable. Next thing I'm going to show you to test is your coil pack. First thing you need to know is your coil pack. It has 3 connectors on this vehicle. It is a 4-cylinder vehicle, so you have 4 coils. Inside of here, you have a primary and a secondary coil. I'm going to show you how to test both of them. For this one, I'm going to use the PDI meter, just so you can see it. Alright. So, here is the PDI meter. I understand there's reflection. I'll hold it up for you. So, you will turn this down to the ohm reading. Right here it shows ohms and diodes. Alright. So, currently have a reading of OL because there's nothing reading. The first thing you're going to do is on the end of this connector, you have 3 wires. The center will be your ground and the outer 2 will be your primary and secondary coils. So you're going to take your leads. Do not press them into the connector. You will stretch them out and they will never read again. You're going to touch the center and you're going to touch one of the outer edges. On my meter I have 1.8 ohms, which is not a bad reading. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. And on my meter I have 0.9 ohms. Again, not bad reading. Alright, next you're able to test the ohms across the coil. These are set in pairs, so these two you can see right in the center are connected, as well as these two are connected. So it's very simple. You're going to gently set these inside of here till they bottom out. On this I have 12 ohms, as you can see there. It's not a bad reading. Same thing with the other side. You'll test it. And again, 12.71 ohms. You can see there. This means that you have connection. The first one says you have connection through this wire all the way down into your coil pack itself. Your second one says you have connection across this set and this set. Now with all that being said, remember that these are tests with the parts out of the vehicle. If you're going to test something within the vehicle, make sure you read the diagram so that you're not touching, say, positive to a positive and causing major issues. If you're going to test things in a vehicle, make sure you're trained. There's trained professionals out there everywhere willing to help you, willing to answer questions. And remember, with things outside the vehicle, as long as you are not reading OL, when you're in the ohm reading, that means that your part's connected good on the inside. It means that you're not going to have issues. It means if you put it in the vehicle and you have other issues, but you're reading good ohms and you're having a connection, then it's something else in the system. When we have an issue with a vehicle, we take the part out, we test it. We know if it's the system or we know if it's the part. So test your parts outside your vehicle. Put them in your vehicles. If you have more issues, take it to a specialist. We're there to help. Thank you.